three spots today that I love where the owners are just completely dialed in on what they're doing. First spot, MICHAELI Bakery here on Division Street, Lower East Side, my neighborhood. Chef here worked for Bread's Bakery for years. He's not doing any bread here, just desserts, and they are killer. Then existing conditions. Dave Arnold brings us this cocktail bar from, like, I don't know, the Jetsons. I've never seen more technical equipment in a cocktail bar in my life. I've never seen anything like it. You probably haven't either. And the food's great. I love the food. I've known Josh for years. Then Nick Morgenstern's Ice Cream Parlor, Morgenstern's 2.0, Houston and LaGuardia Place. He's got a full bar program. He's doing frozen desserts. It's like the Baskin Robbins of your dreams. That's what's on tap. Three places. They're doing one thing incredibly well. I'm Mike Colameco, industry insider. Been in the business my whole life, and I know what it takes to succeed. Each week we'll take you into real kitchens, filmed in real time. Backstage passes to a day in the life of chefs, restaurateurs, and their teams. The competition's fierce. Careers, life savings, and reputations hang in the balance. These are my people, and this is their passion. And that's what's next on Mike Colameco's Real Food.
So this is the vegan donut, based on a Moroccan donut that we make in a holiday after Passover.
A Moroccan donut.
Yeah.
Hey man, thanks for having us in.
Yeah,
so tell me about this story. You told me a bit about it. You picked up baking in your early 20s.
Yeah, so...
Pastry actually, not bread, but pastry, because you make that distinction.
Yeah, pastry. You know, like the European fields, you have the patisserie and you have the boulangerie.
Correct, two separate schools.
So it's in Israel. So yeah, this is like the patisserie of Israel. This is our style. Yeah, it's like the grandma touch you need here.
There's something magical. I mean, even cooking, that process of coming in the morning, putting your apron and your whites on, and then turning raw material into something beautiful in a meal.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just magic, kind of what chefs and pastry chefs and bakers do every day.
Exactly, and the cycle that you get the feedback back from the customers,
right.
You know, the most satisfying thing for me is to see a body language of some customer that, let's say, can sit with himself and then, let's say, with his phone. And we had one a few days ago. He just ate some pastries and he just was reading and just stopped and like, oh wow, you know? And this is real.
No egg.
No egg.
So it's just yeast?
Yeah. Basically flour, water, a bit of sugar, salt, and yeast, yeah. It's similar to churros, actually, the dough. Very basic. Sugar and cinnamon.
When they're out, when they're done?
Yeah. It's a nice touch.
Still warm. I mean, what more simple pleasure could there be than a hot donut?
Yeah, nice and simple.
Right out of the oven, touch your cinnamon sugar, not very sweet at all. Dough's not sweet. This and coffee, it's perfect. Now, you came to New York in the interest of full disclosure when Bread's Bakery first opened up.
Right.
So Gadi Pelig, who has been living in New York since he was 12, 13 years old, goes back and forth, was a huge fan of Uri Shecht, and tapped Uri to open up Bread's, which was an instant success. It was just this remarkable break on 16th Street, but it was a busy, busy place. And you literally came off the plane and worked at Bread's.
Yeah.
That day.
Yeah, that day. We jumped here and we don't know any of the behaviors of the flour and the interaction and all this. So the recipe here is different than what we did in Israel, but still the result is the same. Now tapenade. Not too much, just a touch. Now the pizza sauce. I put some sugar to balance the acidity.
Cheese.
Yeah, it's a good cheese. And the feta. Just like broken pieces. In Israel, actually, it's pretty popular, especially in the markets. But here, yeah, it's pretty new. And I hope American will be open to it. That's the idea, to use the pizza flavor, to get them to taste the other flavors as well. So this is the Israeli classic cheesecake.
What kind of cheese?
The cheese. I mixed here cream cheese, sour cream, and yogurt.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
It's like air. Light as air.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so great flavors too.
So this is our Black Forest.
classic. Black
Black-
farce. That's like old school.
Yeah,
And just shaved chocolate on the top, semi-sweet.
yeah, right. This is a coconut mango. It's summery cake. It's not sweet. A very light cream and coconut. I use Coco Lopez in the cream.
And that bad boy with the streusel on top, that's some kind of an apple
Yeah.
something or other you're doing.
Yeah. So I like to keep it simple. Just apples, lemon, touch of cinnamon, that's it. We have many more items to explore, also related to the style of the bakery.
How did you hear about this space? What brought you to this neighborhood?
I was targeting the Lower East Side for a while. First of all, because they don't have like authentic full production bakery around here. And I always wanted to make my bakery in a neighborhood. There is something special about going downstairs and grab something from the bakery or coming home on the way when it's around you to pick something up for the kids. So I really wanted it. Yeah, this is mascarpone, heavy cream, and a bit of condensed milk.
You're just eyeballing this. You want it almost like a firm peak?
Yeah, this is a rusty cake, so it's fine if it breaks to pieces and all that. It's part of the thing I like about this. It's all about the taste here.
That's a baked meringue.
Yes.
Piped out and baked.
Yes. I put inside the meringue some almonds,
You
toasted
smell it.
almonds,
Yeah.
and some vanilla.
So that's a mix of heavy cream and mascarpone?
Yes.
Any sugar in the strawberries or just by themselves?
No, by themselves.
Okay.
Raw.
Just diced.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're folding it.
All about the taste.
Yeah. Let's put everything together. That's it.
Beautiful. What do you call this?
Meringue roulade.
Meringue roulade. Well, exactly what it is, meringue
Yeah.
roulade. Hello, gold meringue.
So also gluten-free, you know.
Fantastic. Chef, thanks so much for having us today.
Yeah,
It's
thanks for
fantastic.
coming.
Thank you. Welcome to the neighborhood, and
I appreciate it. Thank
hope
you.
you have a good long run down here.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Nicholas Morgenstern, sir, you have been on the show a ton of times.
Few times.
General Green, Gigi's or Goat Town or whatever it was
both,
at that point.
actually, yeah.
Both of them. Your store in Rivington, the first foray,
Yeah.
deep dive into the world of ice cream and sundae. And then this baby had been in the pipeline for a while, and now it's there. It's just like Morgenstern's 2.0. This is it. This is the,
Yeah.
What is this? In your own words.
So this would be our real flagship, and we were sort of hoping that we could get somewhere close to this with the original store. It just wasn't big enough. Didn't have the infrastructure. Didn't have a kitchen like this that we could do the Sundays and things like that. So spent a couple years looking for real estate. Now here we are.
And this is full blown. You've got a full bar.
Yep.
I mean, you tell me what you have going on here. 'Cause there's a lot of pieces.
So 88 flavors, cups and cones on that side.
88.
Yeah, every day, 88 flavors. On this side here, we run a Sunday counter, so all kinds of American classics. We're really taking a closer look at what classic American Sundays are all about. Lots of crazy Morgenstern's creations that fall into the Sunday. Lots of slices of ice cream cake, lots of slices of ice cream pie. We have regular cake, we have regular pie. And then all kinds of different like ice cream related beverages and things like that. So we still try to keep it in like the American style, but we get really inventive with different flavor combinations, textures, and things like that.
And then the bar.
We've got liquor going on the other side. Yeah, where our retail store is at.
All in one roof.
All under one roof. It makes it easy for me to keep an eye on everything. People ask me this question a lot, which is like, they take a look at this menu and they're like, you know, what should I do? 88 flavors is pretty overwhelming, and then we have a lot of Sundays. We're usually running 20 to 25 different Sundays. And like I said, American classics for me has been a big focus lately of just like understanding how and why ice cream sundaes are so important to America. And the original American ice cream sundae is the hot tin roof. Vanilla ice cream, hot fudge, whipped cream, nuts, and of course, a bleached red cherry on top. You gotta have it. So there's something about that. It's so pure, clear, simple, delicious, satisfies every time. And every time I put it in front of somebody, they look at me and they go, you're right. The basis of this really is the fudge. So we make all of our fudge in-house.
I was about to say, this isn't coming from a jar off the Cisco truck.
No, we don't really get that many things out of a jar here, Mike. Yeah, so this is a half gallon. So we're producing, 600 to 1,000 of these getting produced downstairs every day. Being able to do it all under one roof really allows me to keep a close eye on it. And it keeps me in one place all the time. So you know where to find me. I'm always here.
I noticed that.
It took me about a decade to get here to this point that I could do what I'm doing right now, which is pouring fudge on a scoop of ice cream. I'm serious, I'm not joking. Ice cream, more fudge on top, and then, we try to
You
get
like chemisade the bowl, as we used to say with chocolate.
Yep. And then we do a little
More
more.
fudge.
And what I found is that you gotta kind of hit the underliner right away because you're gonna probably make a mess. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Jesus Christmas.
So, as this comes together, you really can see why people kind of freak out when they're sitting at this counter and they see this is happening. It really makes you feel like a little kid because you're like, wait a second, that's for me? Chow down on that thing.
Magical. Now that bad boy.
The infamous, yes.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's Welch's. Concord.
Yeah, that's Concord grape jelly.
Made from Concord grapes for sure.
Yep,
We got salted peanuts on there somewhere.
yeah.
Peanuts in the dairy.
Yep, lots of peanuts in the dairy.
God, it's like a bloody peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, it's very
Heaven.
nostalgic, right? Yeah.
The salted caramel old fashioned was the first thing that I saw on the list, and I said, well, that is just sitting in a bar drinking. You want to have like those kind of flavors of caramel pretzels. This is a ½ ounce of the salted caramel pretzel delicious syrup, which again, to get beautiful syrups made well, I'm very lucky. And then Granddad, which is just kind of a really traditional whiskey. I kind of like that it's kind of retro and cool, and again, just is exactly what you want. And then this is our Angostura bitters that we have. So we have a little thicker salted caramel syrup here. So you can get your pretzel in your
So
cup.
as much of a gimmick as that might look like it is, having a little salty, crunchy with the cocktail, it's so good. And Lynette and I are both, I think, a little self-conscious about not making things that are like too gimmicky sweet, but I'm telling you, these things stand up. When we put them in front of people, they love them.
And I think textures have become more within the cocktail trends. People are trying to find more ways to express through textures. So you see either that's happening through molecular and transformation. Here we're doing it in a much more approachable, traditional culinary way.
Definitely, the sugar content on everything here.
And the salt, which has become something that people are really playing around with in cocktails. In this drink, it's so important in how to deliver those flavors.
This guy is a vegan mango sundae, so we have a compote that's just chopped champagne mangoes.
It's a huge part of the business now, isn't it?
There's demand for it, but in reality, the sale of vegan flavors total out of our 88 is, on volume less than 10%. And to those that it's important to, it's important. And so we make all of the dairy that we use for those ice creams. We finish it with a little bit of, these are little lemon wedges. We got 14 categories of ice cream over there, from vanilla and chocolate to tropical flavors and nuts and citrus and all those things. The 88 flavors are divided up. In every category, there's 14 categories. In every category, at least one flavor is vegan. And then I like to put some nice crispy salt on top. When I was a little kid, my babysitter was Chinese, and she would serve us like orange wedges and watermelon with salt, but they would dip it in the salt. Like they would put a lot of salt on that, which was really bizarre at the time, but now I eat it and I'm like, it's so much, it brightens everything. It makes
Flavor amplifier.
Amplifies the flavor. That's exactly what I was gonna say. This is our vegan mango, which we make with rice milk, and we make the rice milk here using sushi rice. This is as good as any other flavor that I have on my menu. Now this is something different. So this is our cashew, And then this also has tonka bean in it. Tonka bean is a little pole bean from Central America. I really love that flavor there as well. So that's whipped coconut cream. You know, mango chip, not that complicated, but this is really cool. This is just cashews with sugar pureed, and then we dry it. And so it's like a little,
Wow.
it's almost like a corn chip. If it's not busting out, then it's not ready to go.
It's busting out. Yippers.
Hopefully it tastes as good as it looks.
God damn. I almost can't wait to get down to the bottom there to that fruit dive. That's where we're going.
This is a technique we call custino, where we take typically dried fruits and liquor and we blend them together into a disgusting looking sludge.
So, I mean, I met you a million years ago. You were like the wonky science guy. I think I had you on WOR when I was doing Food Talk, maybe. I remember doing that Star Chefs thing once where you were using a paint grinder to grind up coriander seeds to feed the oysters that tasted like coriander.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy. So, I mean, your background is what again?
It's, you know, like anything, it's complicated. But, you know, back then I was the director of culinary technology at the French Culinary Institute.
I remember.
My primary goal was to help chefs in restaurants kind of use new techniques and technologies.
So this is scotch and dried figs?
Yeah. Omar, you already got the enzyme in? Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yep.
So from the French Culinary, when I was working there on these new techniques, I realized that there was kind of a big gap. There weren't that many people working on bar techniques at the time. So I started developing a lot of techniques for the bar. This one, see the temperature, this will be ready to spin in like 5 minutes. We're just going to give it a little bit of time.
Cool off?
Well, for the enzyme, it
To
takes a
work.
finite amount of
Okay.
time to work.
Okay. And you invented this thing.
Yeah.
The Spinzel. She sat down with a pencil and paper one day and said, I need to make a little centrifuge that works as a countertop centrifuge.
And it works, it self-balances. It's a lot like a washing machine.
Smells good.
That's it. We'll just run it this way in batch in 5 minutes. Look at it, we'll come back, it'll be totally
All
clear.
right. So now we have this perfectly clear liquid that's a gorgeous color. So what have we made here, Dave?
So this is, we call it the fig old fashioned. My other partner, Don, is a firm believer in if you call it something people understand, they'll order it more. I hate
right.
to admit, he's right.
Gives them a handle, old-fashioned, something we can wrap our brains around, and fig's an ingredient that we know what it is.
Yep. So the fig has just enough sugar to not need any additional simple syrup. So it's a self-contained old fashioned. We pour it over a rock.
Holy,
It's
ridiculous.
It works together very well. So I'm gonna start off by this one.
Tarragon.
Tarragon, yeah, it's a Francophile's dream.
That's chervil.
Yep. The whole idea is it's built off the
Parsley.
fiend herbs.
Guys, just so in case I missed it, that's liquid nitrogen?
This is liquid nitrogen. So what happens right now is if you look in the tin itself, it's solid herbs. Pouring liquid nitrogen over minus 27 degrees at all times, right? Even colder. We froze it. We just
So
evaporated.
they're frozen like there's ice found in nothing.
They are, yeah.
You're pounding them into dust.
They are beyond the wall, my friend. They are frozen. So the most important thing is when you build a cocktail, most of the time you're building citrus sugars first because you want to use your cheaper ingredients first. But when you do nitro metal, you have to go alcohol first. So the infusion on the alcohol itself basically steps right up. Exactly when you pour it in, it just immediately starts to suck up all that actual,
Flavor
the flavor.
from the muddle.
Yep.
We're getting close to doing something we're going to recognize. We're going to shake something.
Yeah.
All right, now we're in familiar grounds. Hold on. Whoa.
We don't normally do this in front of the bar, but since
Give that.
since there are no other people here.
That's to get the glass to proper temp. Dum, da-dum, dum. What are these called? What's the name of these concoctions, gentlemen?
This one's the Fiend Green, and that one's simply purple.
It's known as purple, the color. May I?
You may.
Oh my God.
That blanche.
So- It all started off like with Blanche Armagnac, which unaged grape eau de vie, or brandy as they would say.
But you got that tarragon popping right off the bat as soon as it hits your mouth, and then all the other things are up in the back. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like herbaceous on steroids.
That's a chef's drink right there.
Right there. It's like you're eating a salad and getting a cocktail, and there's tarragon all over, and I guess that chartreuse is in there somewhere, laying it down.
Yeah, it'll come. The funny thing is that when they're very good cold, both these, but when they warm up, they both drastically change, and it's a very much a progression. A lot of our drinks have that thing where they just go on this journey, and that both drinks change a lot.
Okay, so that steak was cooked at 53 degrees Celsius for 5 hours. That way we can generate a nice fast pickup. I don't think you can get a steak anywhere else in the city in 5 minutes. But here you can get steak and latkes in 5 minutes and get your cocktail at the same time. So the cauliflower is cut into florets, dredged in a little bit of flour, and then we dip them in our tempura batter.
Tell me about the cheese sauce for this, chef. What is it?
That's Gruyere and aged cheddar. These are the churros, they're our onion churros. It's a potato and onion filled crispy churro, or shaped like a churro rather. We garnish
It's like
that
a
with
French fry, tastes like mashed potatoes.
Exactly.
It's nuts. Josh, so we met first at Shorty's.
We met first at Shorty's in
way back.
07.
Then you were at August on Bleecker.
Yep.
You've been cooking in New York professionally for 30-some years.
32 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So just a veteran guy.
I like to consider myself New York's best kept secret.
Don't laugh. So we talked about a bit before the way this project works. It's like 60-40 beverage to food, which is great because a lot of money gets made out there.
So the food is really a compliment to the cocktails here, but it's still a nice draw, I think, for people. And they're bar snacks, but at the same time, they're a little bit different than just regular bar snacks.
It's you. That's why we're here.
Okay, so once these eggplant get nice and soft like this, but it's really simple, we just cut off the ends, give it a little split,
Butterfly it.
kind of open it up a little bit, score that a touch, throw it in the bottom of the oven on the pickup, dry out that eggplant a little bit, parsley, chives, fried shallots, which I'm hell-bent on frying myself and not buying. This is fried garlic, peppers that are marinated in rice vinegar, coconut aminos, sugar, salt, and mirin. We have a little bit of our house-made chili oil.
Hot oil.
But not too hot, it's pretty round. A little bit of pepper cress. And then you get the toasted bread with it.
So it's vegetarian, vegan, delicious, healthy,
Yeah.
approachable, fast. Works with
Approachable,
drinks.
fast, you scrape it off, you put it on your bread, you go from there.
So one of the things that we used to do at Booker and Dax, and it's, at this point it's not new, a lot of people do, is bottled cocktails. We take a lot of care with our bottled cocktails because they've already been diluted to stop change on something that has like vermouth. Because we're not filling the bottle up all the way, there's more oxygen than there would be in a typically full vermouth bottle. So we purge out the oxygen with a little bit of nitrogen. We
Flush.
purge it. Yeah, flush.
Right.
But then the trick is, how do you keep them nice and cold, and how do you make it so that you don't have to wait? And the advantage of this, because of the way we've modified it, is that this can vend out a cocktail at kind of the perfect cocktail temperature. For us, that means the coldest it can be while it's maintaining its taste. So let's say a Manhattan, right? So you put in here, and you open up, you get a Manhattan.
So when customers do this and they get that, they're supposed to just open it up and drink out of the bottle. They pour it over. What do they do?
They open it, they can drink it out of the bottle if that's what we want. If they ask, we give them a nice chilled glass.
So Bobby, what's in the glass that's been nitroed?
So it's called the Italian Ice. It's beer, quina quina, Aperol, Braulio, which is an Alpanian liqueur.
Whoa.
It's an Amaro. So this is the Italian Ice. So beer, quina quina, Aperol, Braulio, acid-adjusted lemon, lemon juice, a couple drops of salt. It's supposed to be something that's aperitivo almost based,
So I have this like before dinner.
or after. Could be a juice vivo too.
Whew.
Yep.
one of my goals is that these aren't just kind of flash in the pan, get press concepts. They're not things that are only for drinks that are like look crazy or taste crazy. That's why, in general, our menu focuses on kind of straight ahead flavor profiles, things that are in people's comfort zone. So, someone could come in here off the street, not know anything, and we hope that they still have a great experience. They don't need to know anything, really. And that's one of the main goals. Bobby, right or no?
Yeah, I agree.
Bobby says he agrees.
Yeah.